Hey all, Hipper here. Today I have picked a battle in Amalfi for you. Now, despite its sluggish rudder and the lack of sonar, this cruiser has actually started to grow on me. But it only goes for Amalfi. I don't like any of the other Italian cruisers at all, uh, especially the ones lower than tier 6. I can just accept Zara. But anything else is like I don't. I won't touch it with a 10-foot pole. That's for sure. Amalfi though, I like it. It's not the best tier 7 cruiser, but it's up there now. I think it's in. Yeah, I don't know. As probably top 5. I think. Obviously, Wichita is still number 1, and I don't think it'll ever be beat. Um, I guess we'll see. But for now, it's the undisputed king of tier 7 cruisers. That's for sure. Then it's Prince Eugen, in my opinion. Then a Targo, and then probably Amalfi. And then after that, Edinburgh, I think. I think that's roughly it, yeah. So I do what I always do here. I start on the flank and I go for the nearest cap, which is C. And with the rolling smoke, like I also mentioned a few times before, there's nothing stopping you just going straight for the cap. You might take a little bit of damage on the way in there, but I mean, if you get in there and you get to pop your smoke in the cap, it's it helps a lot. Like usually you won't be able to cap yourself, but someone else might be able to use the smoke. And here we just use that rudder to just get around those torps there. It was a close one though. And that is still my main criticism with this ship here, is that the rudder is too slow, at least for my playstyle. And if I can't play it the way I like it, then I don't think it's much fun. But at least you get the rolling smoke on the ships, which kind of makes up for the slow rudder, I think. Like it opens up so many new possibilities for play and like for doing like neck-breaking maneuvers and stuff like that. It's fun. So that's why I started to really like this ship. Now the lack of sonar does hurt it, and as you saw before when I was entering the cap, had I had a sonar then those torps wouldn't have been able to surprise me the way they did. Well, not that they really surprised me. I was pretty sure I was going to get torped, but at least I would have a little bit more warning to the direction where they're coming from. Another thing I like about Amalfi is that it's a pretty good fire starter. I mean, yes, you have a super slow reload, probably around the same as a Targo, but you have one less gun. But the penetration seems to be really good, and that's what gives you your fires. It's pretty rare not to get a fire with every salvo, almost, I think. At least every second. And that's pretty good. I mean, of course, if you run into someone who has a battleship with a total anti-fire build, then yeah, you will struggle. But in general, it's doing pretty well. Now with this particular cap here, we have oceans of backup. Pretty much the whole team over here. So there's no point for me to really take any chances or anything like that. The enemies are driven on the run pretty much, and it's just a matter of slowly wearing them down, at least pushing them back towards B. So we at some point can get to actually cap this capture point here. We still haven't gotten it. Now when I'm forced into a playstyle like this, where I have to sit behind an island and take pot shots at whoever is spotted by my team, I generally don't like it. I think it's boring. And that's why I can't wait for this New Orleans to die, so I can actually get out there and do something a little bit more useful. And it looks like we've got the Odin on the run as well, so I should be able to climb out from my hidey hole now and see if we can't surprise someone with a nice broadside of Italian shells here. Looks like we'll have to make do with a Nagato and HE. Now, as you just heard, the enemy team is doing pretty well, and like they're playing pretty smart. They're just retreating slowly and at the same time trying to wear us down. And you can see on A and B we've pretty much lost them. So we'll have to play very defensively in this game here, because I'm worried right now that I will be the sole player left in not too long, and that's why I'm actually turning around now. Normally I would flank these two battleships here to my right, and like I was about to do before, but there's too much at stake here, and I cannot afford for them to be lucky and citadel me out of the game. So I'm gonna use my rolling smoke here and see if I can't evade these guys here. I'm still spotted though, so there must be a destroyer that I can't see where he is, but he must be keeping me spotted. I still managed to turn around though, but not as smooth as I was expecting, and I still get a helping at torps as well. And, it's just not an ideal situation right now for me. I need to get back in cover. So actually my team are doing pretty well here. They have taken out both battleships now. They were also broadside, which is very nice. But this Yudachi here is just hunting me and this battleship here relentlessly, and I'll have to get rid of him. And those pinpoint Italian guns are very useful at shooting destroyers at range. It's almost like German cruiser territory. I still think Hipper and Eugen are a little bit more precise to deal with destroyers, and they also have like slightly better reload. But like Amalfi is not bad at it at all. I'm sure it's nothing like a Targo where like the precision is way worse than the German cruisers. So again, yeah, I'm going to head back. We really need to cap something now because we are behind by like a lot, nearly 100. And you can see the enemies are already starting on B, and if we don't get started now, we are probably going to lose handsomely in this match here. So I'm gonna help this other cruiser here, and then a destroyer shows up, and we'll just make sure that he knows that he should not come this way. So you can see we're down to 4 versus 4 here now. 4 versus 3 actually, and we only have about a third of the battle left, and I don't have a lot of damage. I have 30. That's very little. But we have been doing a lot, and I mean, I love a big damage game as much as the next guy, but I like a high XP game even more, and obviously that's way more important because that means that you've really been doing your best and helping your team the best possible way. And I mean, actually, if you play a destroyer just solely for capping, I mean, you can play many games and not get any damage at all, and you'll still win, be the MVP on your team. So damage is just one parameter that shows how well you're doing, but it doesn't tell the whole picture at all. So now this Kudos over here is just a sitting duck, and no problem there. And we were kind of expecting those torps there, but we'll have to take one there, unfortunately. Wichita would have been able to avoid all those torps even without sonar. It has pretty much half the rudder time of Amalfi and also a way smaller turning radius. And obviously that's why, well, one of the reasons that Wichita is so powerful. So I'm desperately trying to cap here again to make sure we don't lose on points. And my cap has, well, the original cap I started as has been attacked again by probably that destroyer that got away from me earlier. So now I'm just smoking up, so it's not very obvious I'm turning around, because I don't want that destroyer to run away. That's over at sea now. And unfortunately I get spotted there, so it's not much of a surprise anymore. But at least I'll be able to attack him. And I mean, Amalfi goes 43 knots in this build. You can probably hit 45 or even more if you spec for it. But first, I need to take out this pesky destroyer over here, and the best way to do that is simply just to run him down. He cannot outrun me. I'm just trying to determine when he has fired torps. There they are. That's why I'm going in S motions here, because I wasn't really sure if he fired or not, and if he did, where they were. And there he is. And it's a Yudachi. He can go probably 40, 41 knots or something like that. So as soon as I get up to speed, there's no outrunning me. I will eventually get him. And if he turns, he will lose so much speed that I will spot him. See the other destroyer coming to his rescue, but luckily he's behind that island. He won't be able to torp me. So there he turned, and instantly he's spotted because it slows him down, and I'm way faster than him. So this time I am going to get this guy, and even smoking up won't help you much, because I will simply just keep coming. And he made a mistake there shooting. I don't know why he did that. All he did was make himself visible. That was a huge mistake. Had he not shot his guns there, he may have been able to escape before I get up to 42 knots, but now it's too late. Way too late. Somehow I managed to miss there. And we anticipated those torps and turned before they presented a threat. So what's left now is just to pretty much cap C and probably head over towards B now after, because it's being kept, and there's another destroyer over there, but he seems reluctant to take on the other guy, which makes sense. I think it was a Mars, and I wouldn't like to face that in the destroyer myself. So I mean, the time is going to run out before we even make it over there. But we're ahead on points now, and it doesn't really matter. We're going to win the battle. So it looks like the destroyer at B, he's reversing, and actually there he is. See if we can get him before the time runs out. Gave us a Kraken as well, but nah, he disappears. And, so be it. So even though I don't have sonar or radar in this ship, I was actually able to do pretty well against these destroyers. They did escape a few times in the beginning because I couldn't pursue them due to all the other battleships and cruisers around. But using that rolling smoke over in B to turn around without actually showing the guy who was over here at C at that point that I was actually turning around helped me to to approach him unseen and take him out as soon as I came out of my smoke. So that's the end of the battle. Not a lot of damage. 4 kills, almost 5, and like pretty good XP and 3 captures. So we weren't lazy at all, but like the damage wasn't impressive. But I mean, that's cruiser play for you. Sometimes you get a lot, sometimes you don't get any. All right, Hipper out. Hope you enjoyed this video.